in the Steel City, and a few moments ago, their Steelers emerged from the Heinz Field tunnel. They're set, we're set, as the Steelers are ready to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Black 20.
Mike 40. Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
They'll run with the NC State man. It's Jalen Samuels. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go. Check 16.
This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his second season, James Conner. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards off. The return, and the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence. Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. That one 28 yards on the ground. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's a guy coming off a strong rookie season, Gus Edwards. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Watch the shot.
Get wide.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 16.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. It's complete to Snead. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
Hey. 4 down. Watch out.
Here's Jackson to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Connor, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
26 Mike. I'm coming for you, son.
Throwing is Jackson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Check
Jackson from the shotgun. Trying to lay one up deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Onwuasor. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. They'll run here with Ingram. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they come up now, 2nd and goal. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. As the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Another try after the first down sack. Roethlisberger, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target, and it's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
You bet. Hey, echo.
Mike 48, Mike 48.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Let's go.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Check 15. Bang, 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 bang. Check 9, check 9.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's going to be caught. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Miles Boykin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. As the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past